Hello and welcome back to Real Business TV. I'm Jeff Owen from Thomason Business, and today I have with me again Joe Crafuni from Crafuni Lawyers. Joe, one of the areas I'd like to talk about today is vendor finance. Now, in these days it's very hard to get finance from the banks, and a lot of my clients are asking about vendor finance. Could you just enlighten us on this one?
Absolutely. So vendor finance becomes particularly relevant in times like this, where buyers are having difficulty getting money from banks. So basically what it involves is the seller will agree to transfer the business to the buyer, where the buyer will only pay part of the purchase price. So it was being sold for $500,000. The buyer would pay part of it, say $300,000, and then $200,000 would be paid after settlement, after the business is transferred to the buyer. So it's almost like a loan for part of the sale price.
Mm-hmm. But the seller does get paid the funds in the transaction?
Look, well, you hope so, and there's no guarantee, and that's obviously why a seller will want to take some sort of security for the vendor finance. So they'll take say a mortgage over the equipment, the lease, charge over the company, so that if the buyer doesn't pay the money, they can take back the business and run it or sell it.
And could this also be under the assets, the house of the purchaser as well?
Possibly. I mean, if the seller wanted to be quite aggressive or maximise the chance of getting paid, then absolutely. If they can convince the buyer to give them a mortgage over their house, well, that's all the better for the seller, but obviously a greater risk for the buyer.
And how do we formalise this in the contract?
Look, for simple or small amounts of vendor finance, it can be dealt with in the actual sale agreement itself, the sale contract. But in my experiences, once it involves a larger amount of money, it's often dealt with in a separate agreement called a vendor finance agreement, simply because there are more issues that need to be dealt with.
Mm-hmm. And are there any other charges or fees involved for doing this?
There's obviously the cost of setting up the paperwork required, the actual agreement, and the mortgages or the charges. Mm-hmm. So there is a cost, the solicitor's cost of preparing it, and there may also be a cost of registering that security, and it's often the buyer that will pay for it.
Okay.
Yeah, not always, but often.
Interesting topic. So thanks for being with us again, Joe. And where can we find out some more details about this topic?
Look, buyers of businesses can visit my website, klaw.com.au. Good.
And now for this month's featured business.
This cafe, restaurant and takeaway is one of the best we've seen. A superb location, great fit out and kitchen, regular customers and room to grow. Currently run under management, this business would ideally suit an owner-operator or family unit. With 3 separate areas including an alfresco veranda, secure lease at a major shopping centre location, and an asking price of $200,000 plus stock, this is an opportunity not to miss.
And what a lovely business that was. For any more details of what we've talked about today, or the business or any other businesses, please feel free to contact us on thomasonbusiness.com.au. Thanks for watching today, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.